often celebrated as a shining example of democracy in East Asia, is facing one of its greatest political challenges. Recent amendments to key laws have sparked outrage across the country, bringing over 20,000 people to the streets in protest. In this video, we'll break down the controversial changes, why they matter, and what this means for Taiwan's future. Welcome to the Freedom is Not Free channel. My name is Stan. Today we're diving into Taiwan's latest political crisis, the amendments to three major laws: the Civil Servants Elections and Recall Act, the Constitutional Court Procedure Act, and the law governing the allocation of government revenues and expenditures. Let's start with what these changes are and why they have caused such an uproar. First up is the Civil Servants Election and Recall Act. This amendment makes it harder to recall public officials. Here is how it works. To start a recall petition, citizens now have to submit copies of their ID cards, which include sensitive personal details, like their address and family members' names. This raises serious privacy concerns. But that's not all. For a recall to succeed, the number of recall votes must now exceed the total votes the official received during their election. Critics argue this creates an almost impossible standard, effectively shielding elected officials from accountability. This amendment appears designed to protect certain legislators, particularly those from the Kuomintang or KMT, who have faced recall campaigns in the past. And next, let's talk about the Constitutional Court Procedure Act, 宪法诉讼法. This amendment changes how unconstitutional laws can be challenged. The new law requires at least 10 justices to convene the court, with 2/3 agreement needed to make a ruling. But here's the problem. The KMT and the TPP have blocked judicial appointments, leaving the court with only 8 justices. This means that the Constitutional Court is effectively paralyzed, leaving citizens without a way to challenge laws that violate their rights. And finally, there is the law governing the allocation of government revenues and expenditures. This amendment redistributes 600 billion NT dollars, or about 18 billion US dollars, in fiscal resources. The catch? Most of the funds are allocated to areas controlled by the pro-KMT officials. This move has raised concerns about widening the urban-rural divide and cutting funding for critical national programs such as defense, housing, and food safety. At a time when Taiwan faces growing threats coming from the CCP-run China, weakening the defense budget could have serious implications for Taiwan's national security. And the backlash against these amendments has been overwhelming. More than 20,000 people recently protested, demanding that these laws be overturned. Those acts will soon go to President Lai Ching-te for review, and he will probably ask the Constitutional Court to give an explanation if they are constitutional or not. And we can predict that the Constitutional Court will probably rule them as unconstitutional. Exactly what happened with the different package of laws this May. Beyond Taiwan, these developments could strain the relationships with the United States. A weakened defense budget and a paralyzed parliament could delay the purchase of advanced weapon systems, making it harder for Taiwan to maintain its security in the face of growing aggression from Beijing. So, what does this mean for Taiwan's democracy? These amendments represent a dangerous shift, eroding democratic accountability and threatening the balance of power. But the protests show that the Taiwanese people are not backing down. The fight for democracy is never easy, but Taiwan's resilience is an inspiration. We'll keep following with this story closely, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated. Thank you for watching, and remember that freedom is not free.